Hmm. That's not the right thing. Well, I'm trying to find my code window here. And also, we're not doing bun. We're doing some JavaScript and some VRAM. Okay. Okay, there we go. And where did... Let's see, gotta do some other updates here. Alright, we're not going to do this music, because it's just too... It's too awesome. Its obvious awesomeness cannot be handled. We're going to do some... We'll do some accordion music. That's weird. Seeds of Pandora has every type of music, apparently. And then I need to find where's a window that has the things that I need. Well, that's not what I want. Let me go grab... Oh yeah, this is actually what I wanted right here. So let me go take a look at that. Not this one. And I am going to throw some light on myself. Let me go get some light thrown on myself here. Oh, I really need to reboot this computer. I keep on saying that. I've been saying that for what? 3 weeks now? Reboot! Okay, so I've got a pull request to work from. I got 2 pull requests to work from, really. I'm going to go on this one first. And... yeah, I'll make sure that that's good and good. I'm going to go ahead and... I think I'm just going to go back to the classic music. Let's see. Or cinematic? What the heck is breakbeat? Bossa Nova? Ambient. Let's try some ambient. I think the ambient one gets me flagged more often, though. I just hate how they use these copyright things. I just like... It's like broad spectrum antibiotics for copyright. Like they just, if you play any sort of music, they make sure they get you on some sort of copyright thing. And it's just too much work to fight it and be like, no, this is free music that is open, that is licensed for me to use. But that's how they get you. Anyway, yeah. Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill, and we're just live coding away. This is a work project not related to the other stuff I was doing, but I happen to be doing a few things with bank and payment integrations just in general. There just happens to be a coincidence of some stuff that I'm working on. So this first one here, this is just... I am reworking some. This is just refactoring, renaming some stuff, making it consistent. I just need to check it again before I pull it in. And then the main thing that I'm going to be working on is integrating the Mercury Bank API webhooks into our input form. And so I suspect that I will get that done during this stream. There's something else I was looking at just a minute ago. I'm trying to pull it back up. Okay, now I've got some messages up for me to look at. All right. So yeah, this was mostly just some reorganization and renaming of things. Just giving things names that make sense. And there is a previous PR where I named things in a way that made perhaps less sense, but that was because they didn't make a lot of sense to begin with. Well, I gave them really long names. Anyway. Let me go ahead and switch to main here. See what we got. All right, get switch over here. Rebase main. Go ahead and push that up. I don't expect that much is going on there. Okay. And, oh, I need to double check that mic and sound. Okay, soundboard works. Mic looks like it's working. Background music's working. All right, so we're all good there. All right, so refresh this. And, yeah. Okay, so I've already had this live. It's already been working. So I'm going to switch back. Put that in. Oh, still in progress. Yeah, those can be a little slow sometimes. Anyway, there was a bunch of stuff. File renamed without changes. I just moved into a subdirectory. I like to always export an object. I mean, I think that's the way that should be done. Not just like a preference, like this should be a hard thing. It's a pity that Node ever allowed it exporting functions because a variety of reasons. And then the whole bit about destructuring is kind of terrible. But anyway, so just to differentiate between the types of stuff that go on the events object here, we have the custom functions are all being assigned independently. Yeah, let's just clean up. It's just clean up. And then the branch name was what I was originally intending to do is what the branch name is named after. But then there's what I actually did, which is what the name up top was. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rebase this. Get switch. Get rebase main. Get pull. Get rebase main. And then get push. So shouldn't have lost anything. And then I have to swap out the pseudocode for real code. So basically, there were some to-dos that were swapped out with what the code will need to be. And then, yeah. Ugh. I'm going to need to go into the staging environment and find out what the names of these things were. So these IDs were taken from a staging environment just because, for whatever reason, it was quicker to grab it by the name than by the ID. I mean, by the ID than by the name for the person who was doing it. So let's go ahead and get logged in there. And then let's see. I am going to have to do some of the stuff on the other screen. Okay. And I need to double check. These were company feature types. Okay. So this needs to be where ID, whoops, where ID in, and then that should work. Yo, Rune, what's up, man? How you been? Oh, I'm doing all right, don't you know? I'm doing all right. I also need to make sure, I forgot what this was supposed to be. I need to go look. I have some notes in a chat I need to go look at real quick. Because I had put up how this was supposed to be done. Okay, I need to grab that one. I'm going to move this back over here while I investigate the code locally. Okay, I think this is the way it's done then. Field type static. Let me go look at that. Glad to hear it. Well, this music's weird, isn't it? I'm going to skip this one. That's too hardcore for me. All right, so I'm trying to remember, what did I do with this? Buy full slug. This doesn't seem right. I think this is a record type. I don't think that that's a field type. Let me go double check on that. Record type. I think this was copied over. No? Maybe I meant that to be an example, because that's not everything. We couldn't fit everything. Everything is too broad. This one, I think we actually could fit everything. But whatever. Field types dot. I just want to see, what are we looking at here? Org name, task name, individual, title, count, company, signatory, individual, social security number, So I think that these... Let me go look. Where is this populated? By full slug. Okay, slug is record type slug, and then slug part 2 uppercase. So if I look at slug comp, okay. See, record type code, record type slug, resource type ID, feature type, name. Maybe it's name I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think I got it now. So that my query, this is my query. This is the query that I needed. The slug comp is what I need to be concerned about. And so I will just go insert that in here where this was source util events functions bank account apply. Okay. Source util, whoops. Was it utils, events, functions, bank account apply? Yeah, that's the one I worked with last anyway. Okay, so there we go. And those look like they're in BOGO order, which is fine. But I need to get these in some sort of semblance of reasonable order to work with. I also need to update this view so that it so that it includes these things. That's something I'm going to need to do. So my goal here is basically, so we fill out a form, and our form process has been meant more for storing data and not for that. There have been events that get triggered when you do something with the data, but its primary purpose have been storing the data for future use. And so what we need to do here is take data that was just submitted and then change the format of it so that it fits what the Mercury API needs, and then submit it again. So I probably need to do this for each of these. And then I was kind of hoping that this would be done for me, because this is, well, it's just the tedious work. It's not, it's not the hardcore work. And it would, kind of be more cost effective to just not have me doing the manual copy paste stuff. But That's what I'm doing. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go update that query. This is under DB migrations. We probably want to pick the most recent one from October 24th. That's my guess. And we'll want to, from the feature type, we'll want to add slug comp as slug comp. The slug comp means composite. It means that we're putting both of them together as one. And I don't think that there's anything else that I'm going to need here other than that. And then I guess if we wanted to take this down, all that we'd be doing... Well, okay. So I have to copy this file and then I'll restore it. So we're going to create or replace the view, and then I would just get rid of the slug comp. Okay. And then we may want to put... I don't know if there's anything else we need to put in here. I'd kind of like to put... well, I mean, I guess we could just put this down here. I think there's a code and there's a slug. And me... So the reason that I'm thinking to put it here rather than down below... I don't know that I have any good reason. We should probably just stick these all together and stick them right here. So this should be field type dot record type code as... Oh. Don't want to have to redo all of these, but I guess I will because that's what I gotta do. Okay. So let me double check that I got that right. Record type slug, slug comp. And then record type code. And in most of the cases, these are going to be the same. Or maybe not most, but in many of the cases, these are going to be the same. The slug comp is intended to be unique. Wait, why did this go here? I'm going to put that here. I wanted to put it here. All right, record type code, record type slug, slug comp. I don't know what order these are in. Looks close enough to Bobo Sword to me. Oh, I didn't add anything yet. Right. That's why it's not cached. So, Yarun, have you been up to anything interesting lately? Or boring? I don't wanna, you know, put too much of a constraint on it. Oh, and I actually do have some other stuff on my mind right now. I had an interesting visit this morning. Okay. It was a matter of national security. Very important. Very secret. Actually, it wasn't very secret, and I hope it doesn't end up being very important. Or of national security, for that matter. Okay, what am I doing? Ah. All right, new file. This is it. The only thing different between this and the last one? Just these 3 lines. I think that's it. I think that's all we need. So with that in place, I believe what we can do, we go back into this file here that we're editing. I believe that what we can do is say where resource ID is company ID and this, so flat feature is basically the most recent entries, which is not necessarily what we want. Like actually reconstructing the form is a little bit difficult. So what we end up getting is not a reconstruction of the form as it was submitted, but we get the most recent data, which should be what was submitted on the form. But the thing is that it's like the way that the relationship works out, it creates a copy of the form with a relationship to the type of the data. And there is, for the purposes of template generation, there is data that it specifically references for template generation, but that's not what's referenced in other parts. And it's just the legacy of the product. Anyway, so where feature type ID, let's just look at this again. That was one of the things here, right? Feature type ID. Yeah. So feature type ID. So we'll instead go with field. Well, it's just slug comp. People really undervalue dev work, don't they? Sure. I think that developers undervalue dev work more than anyone else. I think developers are very lackadaisical in general, and it would be great if we could somehow get people more interested in doing a better job at their job. But I guess that it's undervalued and it's overvalued. What's actually done is overvalued, and what it requires to do it is undervalued. So it's kind of this, just throw $100,000 at anyone and they'll magically be a developer. Which $100,000 can motivate people to use magic. So that is true. Yeah, I think there's different levels. There's different levels. So for example, I was talking about this the other day. Somebody trolled me in a group where to put me under scrutiny as a developer. And there are certainly some things I do where if you watch it and you've got the magic peeled back, you say, "Oh, I don't, is this really worth this much money?" But then, as stupid as it seems, okay, well, find someone to do it for cheaper. Find someone to do it for cheaper. I won't be offended. I didn't take this, that particular work. I didn't take that because that was my first choice. Because I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to work on this thing. Well, I mean, in essence, there is an element of that is true. I did stuff that I really, really don't want to work on. I'm just not going to take on. Yeah, pay me a lot of money to do something that I'm not good at. I'm very happy to do things I'm good at. I really don't like doing things I'm not good at. So when someone's like, I know you're not good at this, but I want you to do it anyway, they don't get the discount of me not being good at it. They cost more because I don't want to do the things that I'm not good at. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read your comment there in just a second. Let me go ahead. So 1, 3, 2. This is so weird. Well, I guess it's not weird because it's organized logically, not by index, but 4, 5, 6, 9, 50. Okay, so I feel confident that this is right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go dot star doot boop. Oops. Whoops. No, that's not what I wanted. Try that again. \1. Wait, what did I do wrong? //\1. Oh. This was, we're gonna go with we can go with plus here, and we're gonna do a word and colon. Do we have to do this as well? Maybe? No. Dang it! There we go. Let me see. There we go. Okay, now \1, right? There we go. So we can take that in there. Slug comp. So I am gonna read that comment. I just wanted to get this out of my way, so because it looks like a good one, and I want to be able to focus on it. All right, so I'll probably take this somewhere, and then I need to do the same thing with this one. Hold on. What? Oh, something went wrong there. There we go. Put these ones in there. I could just call it types. Field types. How many field types? All right, once I get this, then I'll read that comment. Okay, and if I remember correctly, we're not even going to need these ones. Okay. Oh no. I thought this was going to be a group by in the sequel, not a group by from the whatever. Okay, had a guy today Want a fully SEO optimized website. I worked in an agency for 10 years and a custom coded website on Astro. I said $1,500 because I like the guy, but he wanted me to do it for $400 because it won't take long. Yep. Yeah. Well, so when people ask me, if a friend asks me, hey, what would it take to get, this thing done? I'll say, you know what? I have no idea. But I would say that just like if you wanted to put a Hello World on the App Store, like if all you wanted was you click the button and it pops up and it says Hello World, I would say that you should start at around $20,000. That's what you should have in your mind is what that's going to cost. Now, you might get more than just a Hello World, but $20,000 is basically all the cost of the communication, the overhead, you just putting things together, and yeah, you'd probably get a basic app that has a couple menu items, can maybe log in and save some data and retrieve it. Like very very simple, basic. Has a form, can save some data and view some data, but basically your Hello World, $20,000. Now, if you've got 6 different features that you want to implement, you want to integrate with some maps, you want to have some notifications, you send out some email, like $200,000. And that's kind of what I give people to help them ballpark their project is you can't afford it, and to do what you want, you definitely can't afford it. I say, you could get somebody from India to do it for you, but then you need to have that managed. And really the problem with working with people with India is that you probably don't know what you want. Because if you know what you wanted perfectly, if you could describe it line by line, because I've had good experiences working with people from India. If you can describe line by line, this is exactly what I expect to get back, you can have a good experience working with people overseas and paying much, much less. But the problem is you don't know exactly what you want, and you don't know enough about the way that development works to be able to describe what you want in the way that it needs to be described in order for someone to do it. And then if you work with overseas developers and they just produce junk code, even if the junk code does exactly what you want, then when you go to take it to some other team to work with it, they're not going to be able to use any of that junk code. It's going to be a prototype. Am I still building the hosting company or only on Tuesdays? Kind of doing it Tuesdays right now. So, well, yeah, there's a few things that are going on there. Right now we are working on payments. The payments will be for the hosting company. The first place we will probably implement payments will be Telebit. I've had some more issues with abuse on Telebit, and I want it to be a paid product anyway. People ask me to make it a paid product. And there was recently some more issues with abuse. And so what I think we're going to do is we're going to switch to a model where you have to provide a credit card in order to use the service. You can use it for free, but you have to provide a credit card, or I'm also considering, well, I think we want to do this. You'll also have the option to do a digital payment, or cryptocurrency payment. But with the cryptocurrency payment, it's basically going to be you're going to have to stake the money with Telebit, and you're not going to get it back for 6 months. So you could use it for free. You could be in the free tier and not have any of the paid features, but you're going to have to stake a lot of money, and then you're not going to get it back. So if you request to get it back, it'll be something like a 3 to 6 month wait period to get the money back. And the reason for that is that oftentimes it might take 6 months for the abuse report to come in. It depends on how the report is coming in. With the really, really simple stuff, the report comes in usually within a couple of days. Well, not always, because there's sleeper accounts. So the sleeper accounts, somebody might have an account on Telebit and not use it for a few months. And so with those ones, yeah. So anyway, there'll be some substantial wait period, some amount of money and some substantial wait period. And from the time that you stop using the service until you get your cryptocurrency back, and then because of laundering regulations and stuff, I think it has to go back to the same address that it came from. And this is something I'm not really that familiar with, but I've heard about it coming up a few times. But anyway, yeah, so we would want to yeah, I still want people to be able to use it outside of the United States. I still want people to be able to use it for free, but if you're going to use it for free, the level of verification has to go up a notch, or the level of payment that's staked, that's at risk, has to go up a notch. I'm thinking of authorizing the credit card for $500, because, you know, authorizing a credit card for $10, anybody can do that. You know, the gas station is going to authorize you for $80. If you want to use this service for free, I want to know that you legitimately have a real credit card. Most credit cards have over $1,000 limit. So a $500 authorization would be something that would be substantial. But would, you know, and this would not be a capture. This would be an authorization. So the authorization step is, I want to see if putting $500 against your card is going to break your credit limit. And I think that 500 is a good number to prevent abuse. I think that, you know, maybe 250. I think 100 is too low, because, you know, the prepaid Visa cards go to 100. But the prepaid Visa cards, I don't know that too many of them go to 500. And if they did, that'd be the entire balance of the card. So I mean, there might be some prepaid Visas that are 1,000. I don't know. But I don't think you pick up a $1,000 prepaid Visa at Walmart. Let's look this up real quick. Let's see. Prepaid Visa amount. That's not what we want. Prepaid cards. They have, I think we have to do it. Get a Visa gift card. Vanilla gift. Giftcards.com. What about Walmart or Amazon? Let's just take a look at Walmart and Amazon real quick. But yeah, so one of the guys that was working with us, I don't know if you heard this, but one of the guys that was working with us, his son died. And so, you know, like, he's not actively working with us anymore. And that put a pause on the project for a bit. And I think he'll come back around, but it's going to be a while. And that's normal and okay. And yeah, not worried about it. Okay. So what's our maximum here? $2,000? But regardless, like, you might get a $100 gift card through some sort of scam, but you're not going to get a $250,000, $500,000 gift card from, you know, a scam. People don't have that kind of money. The scams are usually small denomination gift cards. Like, can you get me a few $25 gift cards, or, you know, Walmart money card. It's crazy that they have a purchase fee. That is insane. It is so insane. And the reason it's so insane is that you're getting charged on both ends. You're paying a fee to get the card that benefits Visa, because every time they use it, they get paid a fee. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway. Take your time. The code always comes first. Aye, aye. What's up, Mentor S? Mentorus. Credit card ID, don't do phone numbers. It's very easy to get a phone number that works. You know, I'm not so worried about people are going to game the system. Like, there is actual organized crime that has used Telebit. So there's botnets, but there's actual organized crime that's used Telebit. And, you know, when you go through the thing, I don't know if I put it on here. I got it in the privacy policy. Let me go security, privacy. So some telemetry, formal complaints and law enforcement. We have to look at these on a case-by-case basis and decide the best course of action to take. So far, all complaints we've received have been clearly able to identify as abuse without any ambiguity or doubt, and the correct course of action seemed to be to release information from our server logs that related to the users and connections in question to the lawful authorities. So, okay. So, yeah, looks like last time we updated this, we did a good thing there. So, yeah. That's, yeah, so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird because I almost always get contacted through DigitalOcean. And right here on, you know, it says, here's who I am. Here's how to contact me. Here's the security. You know, security.txt. You know, and you can use that with an automated tool. Here's privacy. Here's terms. But I just kind of have some some blanket terms here. Yeah. And then in the email that goes out, it says, you know, the IP addresses may be logged. And some stuff like that. Anyway. Getting off the beaten path. What sort of abuse are you getting? Most of the time the abuse is just, it's like bots that are setting up Wells Fargo scams. You know, so somebody goes to fuzzypanda22.telebit.io. Clearly telebit.io, depending on the browser, you know, that the bar changes up at the top, whether it's going to, in Safari, it usually just shows the root of the domain. You know, in Brave and Chrome, it highlights the Apex domain. So I'd have to take a look and see what does it end up looking like. But anyway, you know, you'd think people would see, okay, this is clearly not Wells Fargo. It is clearly not Wells Fargo. But, I mean, LinkedIn, Wells Fargo, I mean, you know, all the big sites, people post up little scams to get people's usernames and passwords. Okay. And so, you know, but I guess people just don't look. They just like, they don't look at all. They don't even look. But I guess it doesn't help that a lot of times when you visit Wells Fargo, the domain is something obnoxious that isn't Wells Fargo, or you get emails and they're branded through third party, like how Disney and ABC and ESPN all used to be subdomains of go.com. Do you remember when ESPN didn't have its own website? When you went to espn.com, it redirected to espn.go.com because Go was some like scammy, spammy marketing group that somehow got huge, big business and then didn't even give them their domain. It would like had the official domain redirect as a subdomain. I mean, like, you want to talk about crazy. Oh, but anyway. So I guess there is some precedent for the stupidity because companies do this to themselves. But anyway, I've taken reasonable measures to make sure that people don't get confused about this stuff. But you just like you cannot protect the world from idiots. And then also like there has been organized crime. There's been not just like bots hosting up bank websites or whatever, but there has been stuff that is more sophisticated than that. So there's just like there's nothing that I can do to prevent the abuse entirely. But I do need to take the stakes up because where there's no identity required, and I'm doing the email verification, but email verification just doesn't mean anything anymore. And people, I'm getting more abuse from not Gmail because Gmail has upped their game so that it's harder to get fake accounts or hack accounts. And so I'm starting to get more abuse that comes from, basically businesses that maybe are running their own mail servers or that are using a mail server that's not very secure or whatever. And so I'm starting to see more of that. It's just, it's a game of cat and mouse, and I can't play it all day long. Yeah, lovely how people find ways to abuse everything. What are you building? So right now, what this is Mercury Bank allows you to sign up and get custom. We have a custom sign up page. We have a process in our web application, we being PaperOS, that allows you to sign up for a bank. And so we're going to collect the information and then we're going to forward that information on to our partner bank. And then you're going to click their link and go through their process from that point. What? Scammy, spammy marketing? No one in marketing would ever be spammy and scammy. Yeah, but it blows my mind. ESPN, Disney, ABC, right? I mean, ABC is maybe not a big name anymore, but they used to be a big name in television. You think, Disney got scammed by Go.com. Disney, like somebody at Disney was on a phone with, okay, now it's the Disney company. What is, okay, so now I'm confused. Did Disney buy Go.com? What? Okay, maybe it was Disney all along and they just thought that Go.com was a good name. I guess because Disney is now, they're like a patent empire, or they're like a, they're like a merchandise empire. So they don't do movies anymore, right? They just buy networks. And there's, somebody did a report on this, like basically they buy up these networks because it extends their copyrights and their trademarks. Sorry, I said patents earlier. I don't think that they've got that much in the way of patents, but they buy up copyrights and trademarks, and they buy them so that it renews their portfolio. Like they buy something and they put it in a portfolio, and then it extends the trademark of the whole portfolio. Something weird like that. But what the heck is Go? What is Go.com? So anyway, apparently Disney owns ESPN, ABC, 20th Century, Fox, Star Wars, Pixar. Is that, are these all the things they own, or what is this? The Walt Disney Company? That doesn't make any sense. More, Go.com, more. Oh, you got to be kidding me. The links don't even work. Disney Store, Parks at Disney Plus. Okay, so maybe I had it wrong. The official Disney website is just Go.com. Why it's Go.com, I don't know. Yeah, so I guess, I don't know. Maybe Disney bought Go. Maybe Go did the hosting for ESPN and ABC, and then Disney bought Go, or maybe Disney created Go. I don't know why. I don't know. What is Go.com? InfoSeek. 1998. Huh. So 1998, Disney registered Go.com. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm gonna get off that because that's I'm not being paid to figure out why Disney did stuff with Go.com. Okay, yeah, you got it there. You brought it up. So yeah, I had it wrong. I had it wrong, but who could have guessed? I don't know. Like, why? That's just a weird thing. Weird thing. Okay, bank holder IDs. Oh. Okay, so bank holder IDs. Where did that come from? I don't want to do that. Ah, crap. So how do we get this information? All right. Ah! Okay, so there's only going to be one resource named company. Stockholder. Stakeholder or stockholder? I think it's called stakeholder, but I think the stakeholders are stockholders. You know what I'm saying? So to register a business account, you have to list stakeholders, which are stockholders. Because I think we only classify in our system. I think we don't. Stockholder is a stockholder, not just a general stockholder. And then this is called ID, but this is actually an array. So this one, we do need to put in here. Well, we're not going to put it here where the type is because it's too much of a pain in the butt. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay. So we can have many stockholders, stakeholders. We can only have one company that's applying for the account, and there should only be one task associated with the form, and that task should be this task, which is the apply for the account. So with that, All right, then we're going to do task ID as well. I wish we could just all standardize on snake case because it is the best case. All right, so group by, let's see, company data, stakeholder data. All right, stakeholder data grouped, group by. See, I thought we were going to do this in the query. I thought the group by was going to be in the query, not here. Because I don't know what this means now. Stakeholder data grouped. I'll have to go look up what group by does. Or I'll just redo it. Like... Because I'm guessing this creates an array of arrays. Where each element in the array... I don't know. I don't think we have to do any of this. I think all of this goes away. Okay, let me check over here. I always assume anything I see is owned by something bigger that is owned by something bigger that is owned by some holding company. Yeah, that sounds about right. That seems to be the case, doesn't it? Okay. If you need anyone to do SEO on your hosting company or figure out sales, let me know. I don't mind pitching some ideas and help around, not asking for anything. Okay. Schumect. Hit me up in the Discord. Yeah, there's just like some basic stuff. We need to get things to the point where we can accept payment and provide product before we do any marketing for it. But yeah, we can work something out. I don't like to do stuff for free or accept things for free. I like to work out something that makes sense. And I mean, there are cases where it's, hey, you know, if you're going to pay me my regular rate on this, like you just wouldn't be able to afford it. I just want to do it for fun. And there are some cases where I can accept that, but for the most part, I'd rather just have the business expense line item. Yeah. Okay, so this one, what feature query, field types, company data, stakeholder data grouped. I don't know what this means. So this is basically a CSV is what we got going on here. And I think that's the only thing that we can use in this. I think that that's always referred to as resource ID. Wait, where in resource ID? Flat feature query. Oh, this is just giving me bogus stuff because it doesn't know. Yeah, I discovered how much I don't like objection. So some of the things about objection, the object relational mapper that I'm using here, some of them I did like until it got to doing types because all the typing is done at runtime. And so, and there is some really, really complex type hints in objection that basically say, hey, when this, like it's got essentially runtime tooling generics, but they can't work. You know, it's just, yeah. So then you just, everywhere you use objection, you just have to ignore the types on it because they're never correct. And I think that if you use it in TypeScript, I think that there is a way for it to work, but there's not a way for it to work when you're not using it in TypeScript. Okay. And then I also tagged you, Shemacked, in a specific channel for Project Rocket, which is kind of sort of like that. That's what morphed into BNNA. We have another, well, we don't actually have a Discord for BNNA. We have a group chat that we use, but it's not one that I would invite you to because we share, like it's private to the stakeholders, as it were. Okay. I like doing things for fun. If someone that is building something, if someone that is building something, most people are just reselling other people's products. Yes. Especially since a year ago when I was here, you got me into coding. Oh, good. And I've been full sending it since. Nice. Hey, what's up, Neverwhoop? I'm actually hosting my own server from home. For the very first time, router has a built-in DDNS service, which is really handy. Yes. So far as I know, only can have one per router, though. You know, you really don't have to worry about it with your router so much. What's built into the router is kind of dumb. But what you can do is you can do SNI routing, and I can't explain how to do that right now, but maybe we could talk about it later. Bank crypto getting rid of banks. Oh yeah, no stressing. I was just throwing some ideas out. My main experience is organic growth, not ads. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that there's a small market for it, and really, you know, if it ever gets to the point where it pays money that like actually supplements our income, that would be phantasmagorical. My expectations are more that it pays for itself, and you know, maybe we can buy a couple of video games now and then. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here. So we do from the task. Task has account ID. We get the brand. We need to apply with the records and the resources. And I think that this is where we want to do the mapping, or maybe we went under the mapping before. I'm not really sure. And then what were we going to do with the links? We were going to send an email, I think. We're gonna create a table. My takeaway was we're gonna create a table, and we're gonna put these links in a table, and it's gonna be basically a generic events table. It's gonna be like a webhook events table. Let me see if I can check and see of the mini tables. We do have an events table already. Well, I don't think it's called events. I think it's called history. I think it's called document history. We have a document history table, but the events don't mix well. So we're going to need to have an events table. Show tables. Do we have something that is specifically called events? We have event and event type, but that is not the same thing. I might just call it webhooks. Do we not have a webhooks already? I swore that, well, it might be in something that was never merged in. Webhook event. Okay, webhook event. What was that for? We do have webhook event. So I'm going to describe webhook event. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to bring that over here for a minute. What's the website for bnna.net? It's bnna.net. And this doesn't work right now. Because we were going to switch it to being hosted on BNNA, and then I think right now the page is hosted on GitHub Pages, and I transitioned all of my servers and services onto BNNA, but I forgot this one, so you can't actually request an invite because the API doesn't go anywhere. So, you know, put that list on my list of things to do. I'll message Jojo right now. Yeah, there's a number of like little services that I have here and there that are easy to forget about. But I actually really love the idea of containers. For the first time, I'm really falling in love with containers because I can use containers the way that I want to use them rather than the stupid way that I think everybody else uses them. Because I can use a container where I don't have to pay per container. And that's one of the beauties of BNNA is you'll be able to buy a bunch. So you can get a bunch. I think that's what we're going to call our unit. So a bunch will be so much RAM, so much storage, so much CPU. And then you can slice the bunch however you like. So you can put 1/10 of a CPU or 100th of a CPU on processing just this little container that handles the API requests or whatever, right? And so it can be really inexpensive because you could just use a lot of stuff. So that's one of the things I'm really excited about with BNNA is our ability to allocate resources to you, and then you can split them up to really make use of it, because nobody else is giving you the tools that if you pay $5 a month for a set of resources, nobody else is giving you the tools to do the SNI routing on that, so that you can have an independent stack in all of your containers and fit all of your containers into your bunch of resources. Add a public chat, of course. Yeah. Yeah, the bunches are going to be very cost effective. And predominantly because we own them outright. Well, we own the servers outright. So there's no investors to pay back. The problem with that, however, is that scaling it is really difficult. So let's say that we actually, we got some fanfare and there were 100,000 developers that wanted to use BNNA. Well, we'd have to crowdfund is what we'd have to do, because if you want to do a bunch of server setup, you got to buy a bunch of servers, and the servers cost monenes. And when you have investor money, you have no constraints. You can buy 1,000 servers and not use them because it's investor money. But when you own it, like, that bill has to get paid, right? And so we could buy the number of servers that we bought and not have to worry about it. But to bootstrap it, the growth has to be slow. Now, there are banks, and bank loans, it turns out, are actually a really great way to grow your business if you have a profitable business. But if your business is not profitable, like, exponential scale is difficult to do without investment, because investment allows you to have money without responsibility. And then the investor just, loses the money, which basically means that the taxpayers pay for it, because the investors get the money from the Fed, and the Fed just prints the money for the investors for free, more or less. Yeah. Google ads are expensive. Google ads are not that expensive comparatively, because there's a linear growth trajectory there, right? Like, you pay for a certain number of clicks, convert into a certain number of sales. So the ads are not really an issue, because ads have a correlation to profit. So you can build a metric where ads equal profit. Okay, so I don't remember what this webhook event table was for. It was for something. I need to go find in the code what it's for. But I think this is for us sending webhooks elsewhere. Yeah. Okay, I think this was actually for our brand. This is for our brand related stuff. So this was for webhooks, like a user signs up and on the white labeled part of the platform, and we want to be able to send it out. So this is not the right. Could we use this both ways? No, because this is really about outgoing webhooks. So this is webhook event is what's the event, and webhook attempt is the result of trying the webhook. So what we want is data that comes in. Yeah, maybe we want to call it webhook incoming. I'm not sure. I got to think about this for a second. Let me use my full brain power for a minute or two here. I could call it webhook incoming. Yeah, I don't even know if we ended up using those webhooks because the partner that we were using them for, I don't know if they finished their integration. You know, this is how the business world works. Well, I mean, it's just things in general, right? Somebody starts a project, it goes on the back burner, they pay the money for it, and it's like, it'll get done sometime, and then, you know, they come back around to it, and it's like, well, you know, we're glad we did that. But then there's, you know, 6 months in between where no one's actually using the thing that was built. And yeah, it's, you know, it's okay. That's how the world works. Okay. One thing that I want to do in the database is prefix all of the things that are views with the letter V. And I know that might seem redundant and bad practice, and I can understand why some people would feel that way, but goodness knows, it's so much nicer. We can see the V underscore and say, yes, that's the V. Also, I think my V field latest, I think that actually is another way to do the flat feature. I got the V form submission, V form latest, V form autofill. Yeah, I would like to use that instead of flat feature, but I'm not going to because it's extra work right now. When we get further along with some of this other API stuff, I'll probably need to dig into that. Anyway, let me see here. I think I'll create a table that's called webhook inbound. Have I really never run connects? Yeah. NPX, not NPM run. NPX. That makes sense. What am I going to do? Inbound. And then I'm actually going to change this. What I like to do here is kind of reserve things after the date because the time doesn't matter so much. So let's replace that with a 0. We replace that with 0. We replace this with a 1. Like that. Like do it by date, but then have the actual feature set done a little bit differently. What's really weird about this is they're not prefixed with async. I kind of want to open an issue for that and say, hey, prefix this with async. And maybe they do now. And put use strict up at the top. And I'll probably go look at that webhook one. DB migrations, webhook. Wait. Webhook log backfill. What is this? Oh, okay, that's the Panda doc. Okay, never mind. Okay, brand webhooks. Webhook events. Let's... I'm just gonna... I guess I'll just add the whole thing. And then I'll trim it down to what I actually want. Okay. Build articles on Medium, Reddit, and Quora. So Medium is the devil, but still might be worth considering. Reddit is really good, but I'm not the right person to interact on Reddit. I don't have Reddit personality, but I know that some people do, and like I kind of it's Reddit hacking because people on Reddit are fools, right? Like everywhere, all people are fools, right? But people on Reddit, they have this authenticity check that I can't pass, but the people who are paid to make the post on Reddit can pass. You know, it's a weird thing because I've seen some of the posts that are paid posts on Reddit that have, you know, thousands of upvotes, or maybe not thousands, but hundreds of upvotes, and, you know, lots of really great engagement. And I'm thinking, you fools, like, this is literally like Kickstarter marketing company. Like, they're driving up hype for, you know, because anytime you post about your own product, like the Reddit sharks are like, oh, self-promotion bad. It's like, why is self-promotion bad? Like, we got a product, I believe in it, I want to tell you about it, right? But when you hire the Kickstarter companies, they post on Reddit that, you know, but they have like the Reddit suave or whatever. And so then they post about the thing in a way that feels organic, that tricks people on Reddit to believing it's organic, you know? Hear me out. Name all your variables a single character to be mysterious. Yeah, I've got a program that does that. And it's got a really weird name, to be mysterious, in fact. It's called Uglify. And it will change all of your variables to single character names. That way you can publish your code with single variable names, but secretly you can have a version of the code that has the unmysterious names. What's more profitable as a startup? No. You are mistaken, my friend. That is the wrong question. That is the wrong question. As a startup, you do not want to be profitable because that will limit you. Profitability is a death sentence for a startup. You do not want to be profitable because as long as you're not profitable, investors can imagine that future profits can be as high as they want. But if you're profitable, that brings your valuation all the way down to the money that you make. So you don't ever want to be profitable as an investor-backed business, which I think is what most people mean by startup. Okay, front-end only apps, like apps for stores or full-stack apps. It's definitely going to be front-end only. You want to spend as much money as possible on things that are not your own intellectual property, and mainly just focusing on marketing pictures of stuff. It doesn't even have to work. That's, you know, so if by, you know, let's not say profitable, let's say what will get the most investment. Number one, do not be profitable. Number two, yeah, make sure that you have almost no intellectual property or unique value, and that everything that you do is in front end. That's how you do it. If you can make bunches like DigitalOcean droplets, but much less expensive, you get a lot of people for sure. Yeah, there's just like a trade-off, right? Because, so competing with DigitalOcean at the $20 tier and above, like $20 tier, $40 tier, that's nice. That's very, very nice for us. Competing with them at the $5 tier, but like $20, $40 tier, nice. I always tell people to avoid the big ideas first and just fix small issues industries have. Oh, I love Reddit. So easy to just get upvotes and drive traffic. There are thousands of ads at the top. I see, you got it. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I need to actually go back there and grab Ulidlin, because I do want that. Shamak knows what's up. He knows what we're talking about. Let's see. Actually, let's see. Can I zoom in and find out what your logo image is here? What is that? I have no idea what that is. Schmacked. Is that like a sunflower cutting through someone's belly? Selling an idea is easier than selling a product. Yes. Yes. Investors love ideas. Investors hate products. Hate products. You go into a room with an investor with a product, and they are going to be looking at their clock, waiting to tell you that it's time for you to leave. No, you need to go to an investor with an idea and with a user base. That's what investors want. Yeah, please don't make the mistake of let's see. So we need some sort of like reference ID. I think all we really need is the reference. We might have a reference type, but I think we just need a reference ULID. And then we might have an event name. That might be helpful. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we should have in here, so I'm just going to go with the minimum. When in doubt, don't do it. I think we do need an event name, but we don't know what the event name would be, do we? Not necessarily. Is there some way that we can know that information? I think we need to know that information. So then I'm going to go with event name. And I'm going to say reference ID. I'm not going to constrain it to ULID because we're not necessarily going to be able to decide what it is. But we need an event name. We need a ULID. We need timestamps. We need details. And the reason I'm putting details on the outside like this is that it's actually going to be quicker to look up this information without having to reference the details. And I don't know if we really need anything more than that. I think that might be it. So webhook inbound. It's going to be like this. And we really should just have a created app. We shouldn't have an updated app. I think this should be it. All right. Poor Bitcoin is plummeting. That reminds me, I have to go pee. People claim backlinks from Reddit don't do anything. They are wrong. Yes. Used to be a really high quality Reddit post, have friends upvote it to get traction, end up with 1K upvotes. Then a few months later, I'd go sneakily add the website link in. Nice. Nice. Yeah. No. So one thing that I found that's actually really helpful is referencing things in a GitHub issue as well. And there's lots of non-sneaky ways to do that. Like there's lots of forthright ways to do that. Oh man, you are our dude, Shamact. I am picking up what you're putting down. I have seen you at work. I get you. I cannot do what you do, but I appreciate it because the world needs you. The world needs you. And on the off chance that you're a dudette, which I doubt, you're still our dude. I don't think there's too many dudettes tuning into my channel. I think that happens every once in a while, but... Okay, so I've got this stuff here. And let's see. Just have details, whatever that means. Okay. I would never post a Medium though. Also hate Quora. Quora is interesting because it's basically soap operas. It's mini soap operas. It's people who are creative writers post questions, and but they're not real questions. They're, you know, they're not real. They're questions that are asked, I think, by people who are trying out like comedy routines or sitcom sketches or stuff like that. I don't think they're real questions. And then people answer with real answers. But I think that Quora is basically the Writers Guild posing questions to get ideas for TV shows. Because there's no way that this stuff that's happening on Quora happens in real life. It's too, not quite Jerry Springer, but Jerry Springer-esque. I don't understand how websites that paywall deserve to be ranked. Yeah, well, because they serve different sites to different people, Anyway. Yeah. My kid took my controller. I kicked him out at age 12. Am I wrong? Thousands of replies, spun to Reddit for thousands more. Yeah, Quora it's really, really like As the World Turns, or one of those 90s soap operas. Like my 13-year-old stepdaughter got pregnant with my son even though she's a virgin. uh, uh, how long am I going to jail for when there's no evidence? Or, like just cringeworthy stuff. Cringeworthy. I'll admit, I read Quora. I at some point I somehow got subscribed, and so I read me some Quora, but it is cringeworthy. And there's none of it. It can't be real. I mean, it's not saying it can't be real doesn't do it justice, because saying it can't be real sounds like, whoa, it's the truth is stranger than fiction. But no, I mean I can't believe that it's real. It's all hypity dipity. Get ID column, ULID. That looks good. Okay. And then what else do we need to do? I think that we needed to add the models. I think we need to add something else too. ULID. And then sometimes people do point out in the comments, they say, well, your last 6 posts were about how you're a 13-year-old, how you have 7 children and one of them drowned, and how you're an ex-cop. So I call foul. And then you just got to wonder, why you got to ruin their fun? We all knew it was fake. Why you got to go digging into their past posts for the other sitcoms and murder mystery shows they're writing, huh? All right, where was I at? I was in the bank thing. Okay, so we need to go here. All right. So we grab ourselves some ULID. We go down here. We're going to have... What is it that we're going to do with this? Okay, this is where we did want... Okay, we didn't just want the events table. We also wanted a bank table. That's the other thing that we wanted here. So I'm going to have to make one of those too. Because now that I think about it, let's see, models. Let's see, webhook incoming model. I guess we don't really need to do the webhook incoming right here. We need to do that somewhere else. So maybe we don't need the webhook table right now either. Maybe I was mistaken about that. So let's go back and look at this from the partner bank perspective. And I also have some emails that I got to do. I kind of want to call it ACH account rather than bank account because bank just seems too limiting. But we'll figure it out. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. And this one, Hmm. Hmm. I might just make this more specific to Mercury right now, call it bank account, but I imagine that there's going to be some sort of onboarding token or whatever that we'd have with other partner banks as well. So, and where's our account ID? So we're going to have account ID, that's a known thing. And I think that there was something with the ULID. I was making that shorter somewhere. Let me go figure out where that was. UID. There we go. UID. That's what I had. So the pub IDs. So pub IDs are the things that we let people see through the API. I don't know if I want to use the pub ID here or not. I'll have to think about it. Okay, so let's do pubid.create, and then what was the... We're going to have a prefix on all the pub IDs. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Pubid.create. I really do have to go pee, y'all. So we're all clear. And I'm pretty sure... Well, I'm actually not pretty sure. Let me go check this. Okay. So I need to put the underscore there. So there's going to be an application. We really only want to have one, though. So how do we do that patch? Like patch or upsert? Let's see what else we got. Weird. Got a weird email. Okay, I was just checking some messages. Okay, let's see. So Epsert. Do we not have? I could have sworn there's like a. Let me go check one of these out and see. Which one of these looks like the best one? User access. Let's go check that out. That's weird. What? Yeah, I also wonder what the heck this is. Oh, okay. Upsert, graph, and fetch. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's no good. I want to see one of these in action to understand what it's doing. Upsert. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to do the upsert myself. I thought we had something for this. Anyway, all right. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So many things. All right. Quora used to read it for questions to make content, but there are better ways to find content to cover. Nice. Build the app you would use is my motto. Yes. Bank accounts. Didn't Facebook use Mercury early on? It might have been a different thing. I don't know what Facebook does with bank accounts. You mean for their employees? Because I think that it's... I'm really not sure what all the capabilities of Mercury are, actually. We've looked at it for different things, along with a few other partners, and I don't remember which was for what. Right now, this is really a really simple use case. Is just helping them be able to do something in process. Use the information they already have and complete more of it in process. My second favorite Redditor is the one who pointed out something clearly fake is fake, like a story how someone stopped a gun from shooting with their finger. Yeah. Yeah. My skill set and now coding, I just so many ideas 24/7. Just quit my full-time gig today to start pursuing. Oh, that's cool. Great. I hope that works for you. I like the idea of a front-end only app so you don't have to worry about scaling. You don't have to worry about scaling. One, because your app's not that popular. Two, because if your app were popular, you can host it on a single server with 2 virtual CPUs and 4 gigs of RAM. And I mean, like, you've got to be really, really, really popular. There's so much. Yeah, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not with the front end only app so you don't have to worry about scaling. Because scaling is BS that was created by, like, as a marketing gimmick. It's not a real thing for most people. Oh, hold on. Okay. So many tools can be made. Do you need investors when you have lots of users? You can run ads, right? No, you don't. You don't want to make money. If you want investors, you don't want to make money. I sent it to you. What are you up to? I am live.
I'm just doing Webhooks.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just pitching.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Before you run ads, you should have solid sales done and then explore what's best for your startup. Cold calling and email startups. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know people that have done that and build good businesses on it. Peeing is the most important step in developing good software. Agreed. It means you're drinking enough. It's software measured in lines of code, software measured in urine per pull request. Someone needs to make an app with people that provide quality feedback for your app. Personally, ads are overdone and relied on. Was she telling you how stupid I sound? Were you telling me how stupid he sounds? No, nothing. I was just reading some comments. All right. Okay, so yeah, I don't remember what this is. All right, let me go back to the task at hand. And okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to query for an existing, because really this should end up being unique. I think this is what I'll have to do. I'll have to make, well, I don't know. To start with, I think I want to make it unique so we don't end up with duplicate records, because what could happen is somebody could go through the process, undo it, and redo the process, and we could end up with, oh, you know what? Because that can be done, I'm abandoning what I was saying. We're just going to do an insert every time. All right, there we go. So we're going to create this. Okay. And then what is this going to be then? So we do need to get, do I want to call it sign up link always for all partners? Maybe. Let's call it referral link. And then onboarding ID. Referral ID, maybe. Onboarding link, onboarding ID. I kind of like that too. But just to be a little more generic in this case, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be more generic. Maybe we should just call it exactly what it is and have the table be super specific to the Mercury process. All right. And we're not going to update the values here. And we're not going to do that update. Oh, patch and fetch. But I don't think we have an upsert and fetch. We have a patch and fetch. That's, I think, what I was thinking about. Okay. And I think that's all that we do. And then we would look for the referral ID in our our event thing when we need it. Let's see. We join the referral ID. It seems like there'd be lots of tables that we might want to join to that. And I want to keep it generic, even though maybe it doesn't have to be, but the webhook incoming. Let's see. I think I got my classified back search down. It uses full text search. Bounding boxes might be better than Craigslist by far. Okay. Well, the thing about Craigslist that makes it great is how many people use it. You know? And the simplicity of it. It doesn't take a lot of, money to run Craigslist. It can service the entire nation for, well, here's what we need to do. Stack Overflow performance blog. I think it is performance.stackoverflow.com, or maybe it's Stack Exchange /performance. There you go. Yeah, so basically, what all right, 9 plus 4, that's 13, plus 2 is 15, plus 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23. There you go. And there is a blog that explains how this all works. But 64 gigs of RAM apiece. So these are low-end servers. These are not like, top of the line servers. 64 gigs of RAM. And when it says, web servers versus SQL servers. Okay, so these are high-end servers. So these are not high-end servers. And look, peak usage is 12%. So this is 90% over allocated, right? This is it's essentially 10 to 20 times over allocated on both of these. All right. Then this one, yeah, again, not a top of the line server. Pretty cheap stuff here. Super cheap. And again, probably the only reason that they have 3 for this is just because of the replication rules. Okay, this is the most heavily hit server, is the Elasticsearch server. That's the only one that even at peak usage comes in close. So, this is one of the most popular websites in the world, and they over provision close to 10 times more than what they need to, and they run on 25 servers, which means that if they wanted to pare this down and be a little bit more conservative, they probably still need a minimum of 3 or 4 web servers. Because you want a buffer, you don't want to be running at 70% capacity. So, but let's say that you want to be running regularly at 30% capacity. So, in order to do that, they'd have to go down to 3, but let's say 4. So you could have 4 of those. SQL servers, the reason that they do this, they cut it down this way. it makes sense. They could probably just run this on 2 servers. There might be a reason that they have it on separate servers like that, but they could, and that's their most expensive stuff right there is the SQL servers. You know, and if you were to look at this, they probably paid once the same price as if they had got this in the cloud in 1 month, in a single month, they would have paid more than what their entire infrastructure costs. If you were to take this and put this on AWS in a single month, you would spend more money than what they have paid for the last 10 years in terms of hardware. But there's electricity, there's bandwidth. But yeah, co-locating this. Don't let anyone ever tell you, oh, we can't do it because we need to hire someone that knows DevOps. Because you have to hire somebody that's got the AWS certification, and the thing that they're certified in is making sure that they spend the most money possible. So you still have to hire somebody who's certified, right? And then you're literally paying every month. You're paying what buying the servers outright would cost you, but you're paying it every month. Oops. Some guy on Craigslist tried to AWS certify you for $10,000. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to run the apply, but I still need to figure out how to map this stuff. So we need to do the mapping. I thought I might do the mapping in there, but maybe I'll do the mapping here. I'm not sure. Let's say that we're going to make a function. Map fields to Mercury form. And then we could just pass in we'll pass in stuff. And let's see, how are we going to do that? So there's, I don't even know if we need the task data. We might end up getting rid of that. Let me see. What was that task data all about? Let's bring these in closer to where they're being used so it's a little bit easier just to understand what we're doing. Was that a fly or was that my own hair? Okay. Whoops, did I spell that wrong and copy that wrong and paste that wrong? Yes, I did. kind of wonder, could we just move this whole thing down in there? Because what do we actually need from this? We need the company ID, stakeholder IDs, but where do we get stakeholder IDs again? Okay, this is because this is being processed. We're gathering that information. Okay. So yeah, it kind of makes sense to do that all ahead of time. Bah! All right, so let's say we took all of this. And we did... Say we did get required fields. What do we actually need? Okay, we need resources, whatever that is. It's probably the bulk of it. All right. Let's bring that down here. And then we'll just, that'll be our return here. I would really like to know how Uncle Bob is going to make this 3 lines per function. Because he said that he likes functions to be 3 or 4 lines long, maybe 10. Explain me. Explain me. I mean, you could take this and say, okay, well, this is going to be 1, and this is going to be 1. But that just seems to be atomizing too much. And I think what he's talking about is mostly business logic, but I'm not sure. I prefer functions that are a bit wider. Let's see, account task. I don't know what. We need account task model. Wait, don't we use the bank account model? Yeah, we do. What's this griping about? Oh, it doesn't exist. That's what it's griping about. And this one's griping because it's not used, which I think is fair. Okay. So I actually do want to be able to run a test on this. I'm not exactly sure what the test should look like. Well, I have a decent idea. So the test should be... So this is going to be things that were just submitted. So we're going to get IDs for things that are submitted, and then we're going to get we're going to get the latest version of... And this is going to have resources popped into it. don't think it's going to need event. I don't think it's going to need ops. I don't even think it's going to, I don't even know. It does need task because it needs the account ID for the task. And I'm going to call this maybe the form. Oh, because I think this might be a good spot to whip it, and then this is what I need to do. And I'd like to get this tested. And I think that there's a decent way to test some of this. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth making it testable just from the way that it's made. Okay, let me check comments. Sorry. Okay. Oh my goodness. So many comments. And what's up, Popog? Hey. Didn't recognize you by your name previously. Ads are overdone and relied on. Yeah, you really want a product that somebody's willing to pay for. That's the best outcome. Ads are kind of in distribution mediums where you need reach, but you can't quantify the value to the consumer. Television, newspaper, that's where ads are relevant, is you're creating some form of entertainment that they wouldn't pay for because they would just be entertained in some other way. So it doesn't solve a problem. Other than boredom. So when what you're solving is boredom, ads are kind of what you have to do. Let's see. You've seen the thing where people don't change their Firebase permissions, so random users push themselves to admin on their platforms? I have not seen that as a thing, but I believe it. Problem with Craigslist is it doesn't have remote ads. I'm not quite sure what that means. Mine's running on 24 core workstation right now with 16 terabyte hard drive. Okay. Cloud is super expensive for sure. Yes. Remember some guy in Craigslist tried to AWS certify me for 10K. Bandwidth limits me right now more than computational resources. Yep. Conjunction junction. What's your function? I don't know. I don't know about that. How many projects are you doing at a time? Depends, but typically 3 or 4. So there's, one main project and then kind of 2 other paid projects, and then I'll have 1 or 2 things that I'm working on personally. I think my app will be approved in the Microsoft Store soon. That's great. That's awesome. Ads can definitely work, but I think doing organic traffic with retargeting ads with discounts works wonderfully. Okay. What language is this written in? This is JavaScript with types. Also, the high quality setting is causing lag on my side, so I might miss your answer. Oh. Well, I hope you don't. Like where you engage in shipping? I don't know what that was in response to. Okay, so I think I've got this set up right. And we need to get the result before see. Okay, so got failed to create sign up link. So if anything goes wrong, we don't get the sign up link, then we error out. Hopefully that reaches the user. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and whip it here and go take my potty break. Man still has not peed. So I'm going to go take a pee break, and it is close-ish to dinner time. And oftentimes when I go inside, while my wife's doing something, we converse for a little bit. So I'm actually going to end the stream. I may come back and stream for another 40 minutes. We'll see. I will come back tonight. Like I believe that I can get this done up to the level of doneness that can be done without contacting our partner technical support, because there is some stuff that we need to talk with the technical support about. But I think that I can get everything done that I need to get done without involving them. So that's my goal for the day, for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to go take care of my biological needs. But this, I do want to get this project done today. I give up lag every 3 seconds. Yeah, 1440 is way too high. However, I hope your stream goes well. I'll consider lowering it. I don't know that there's really that much benefit to it. Originally, the idea was that this screen right here is 1080p. So this, like the extra part, the 1440 is like this area, but the 1080p is that area. So, but yeah, maybe I just take it all down and then that'll be the 720p area and this will be the 1080p area. I don't know. I don't even know if I actually kept up the ratio over time. So I'll consider that. But with that said, we got some stuff figured out. So that's good. A little fanfare for that. Actually, that doesn't really feel like the right fanfare for it. But regardless, that's what we got. And then I'm out for a bit. See you in a few.